E.N.D here, day 4 for the spoilers of Dominaria United. After the weekend, let's prepare ourselves for a full week full of spoilers. Let's start. And I want to start with Argavian Cavalier 2 and 1 white. It's a 2-2 with Enlist. If you don't know how to play Enlist, I did a tutorial video explaining how this particular mechanic works. Enters the battlefield, create a 1-1 white soldier creature token. Joint exploration for 1 and 1 blue, it's an instant. Kicker for 1 green. Scry 2, then draw a card. If the spell was kicked, you may put a land card from your hand on the battlefield. Rona's Vortex for 1 blue, it's an instant. Kicker for 2 and 1 black. Return target creature or planeswalker you don't control to its owner's hand. If the spell was kicked, put that permanent on the bottom of its owner's library instead. It's like Fading Hope, but with a kick. Cult Conscript for 1 black, it's a 2-1, enters the battlefield tapped. For 1 and 1 black, return it from your graveyard to the battlefield. Activate only if a non-skeleton creature died under your control this turn. Pilfer for 1 and 1 black, it's a sorcery. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose an online card from it, that player discards that card. Phoenix Chick for 1 red, it's a 1-1 flying and haste. Can't block. Whenever you attack with 3 or more creatures, you may pay 2 red. If you do, return it from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped and attacking with a +1/+1 counter on it. Slimefoot Survey 4 and 1 green, it's a sorcery. Domain. Search your library for up to 2 land cards that each have a basic land type. Put them on the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. Look at the top X cards of your library, where X is the number of basic land types among lands you control. Put up to 1 of them on top of your library and the rest on the bottom of your library in random order. Remember that the hideouts or triumphs from Streets of New Capenna have basic land types, which means that with this card you can search for up to 2 hideouts or triumphs, put them on the battlefield, and those can give you the 5 basic land types. Quite good in my opinion. Founding the Third Path for 1 and 1 blue, it's Enchantment Saga with Read Ahead, which means you can choose a chapter to start from. Chapter 1, you may cast an instant or sorcery spell with mana value 1 or 2 from your hand without paying its mana cost. Chapter 2, target player mills 4 cards. Chapter 3, exile target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard, copy it, you may cast the copy. Choking Miasma for 1 and 2 black, it's a sorcery. Kicker for 1 green. If the spell was kicked, put a +1/+1 counter on a creature you control. All creatures get -2/-2. Queen Alenal of Raudak 1 green, 2 white, ***. Its power and toughness are equal to the number of creatures you control. If 1 or more creature tokens would be created under your control, those tokens plus a 1-1 white soldier creature token are created instead. Rulik Mons Moran Chief 1 red, 2 green, it's a 3-3 with menace. Whenever it attacks, look at the top card of your library. If it's a land, you may put it on the battlefield tapped. If you didn't put a card on the battlefield this way, create a 1-1 red goblin creature token. Bortuk Bone Rattle 4 1 black and 1 green, it's a 4-4, also with domain. Enters the battlefield. If you cast it, choose target creature card in your graveyard. Return that card on the battlefield. Its mana value is less than or equal to the number of basic land types among lands you control. Otherwise, put it into your hand. Hero's Heirloom 4-2, artifact equipment. Equip creature get +2/+1. As long as equipped creature is legendary, it has trample and haste. Equip for only 2. The rare cards. Defiler of Fate 3 and 2 white, it's a 5-5, Phyrexian Human. Vigilance. As an additional cost to cast white permanent spells, you may pay to life. Those spells cost 1 white less to cast if you paid life this way. This effect reduces only the amount of white mana you pay. Whenever you cast a white permanent spell, create a 1-1 white soldier creature token. These Defiler creatures, we already saw the blue, now we saw the white. These creatures will be quite popular in Standard and in Commander because you can pay life instead of mana. Temporary Lockdown for 1 and 2 white, it's an enchantment. Enter the battlefield, exile each non-land permanent with mana value 2 or less until it leaves the battlefield. Stronghold Arena 1 and 1 black, enchantment. Kicker for 1 green and or 1 white, which means that you can kick it with 1 green, you can kick it with 1 white, or you can kick it with 1 white and 1 green. Enters the battlefield, you gain 3 life for each time it was kicked. Whenever one or more creatures you control deals combat damage to a player, you may reveal the top card of your library and put it into your hand. If you do, you lose life equal to its mana value. Considering it's just a 2-drop, I think it's quite a useful card. Urborg Light Golf, 1 and 1 green. Asterix 1 plus Asterix. Kicker for 1 blue and or 1 black. Same here, you can pay 1 blue, you can pay 1 black, or you can pay 1 blue and 1 black. Enters the battlefield, mill 3 cards for each time it was kicked. Its power is equal to the number of creature cards in your graveyard and its toughness is equal to that number plus 1. Ratabrick of Urborg 2, 1 white and 1 black. It's a 3/3 with Vigilance Ward 2. Other zombies you control have Vigilance. Whenever another legendary creature you control dies, create a token that's a copy of that creature, except it's not legendary and it's a 2/2 black zombie in addition to its other colors and types. It's a nice zombie lord for those zombie decks. The mythic cards, and unfortunately we have another completed, this time very popular artifact from the old lore of Dominaria. Weatherlight completed. 2 generic mana, it's a 5/5. It's a vehicle. Flying. As long as it has 4 or more Phyrexis counters on it, it's a Phyrexian creature in addition to its other types. Whenever a creature you control dies, put a Phyrexis counter on it, then draw a card if it has 7 or more Phyrexis counters on it. If it doesn't, scry 1. Unfortunately, the Weatherlight is also completed. Lore apart, let's discuss a bit this card. 2 generic mana, you have a legendary artifact vehicle, it's a 5/5. You cannot crew this vehicle, but whenever a creature will die, you will start putting Phyrexis counters on it. When it has 4 or more, it becomes a creature and therefore you can attack with it. Also, don't forget that if it has 7 or more, you will start drawing cards. If not, you will just scry 1, which is not bad for a 2-drop. Karn Silex 4/3 generic mana, it's a legendary artifact, enters the battlefield tapped. Players can't pay life to cast spells or to activate abilities that aren't mana abilities. X, tap it. Exile it. Destroy each non-land permanent with mana value X or less. Activate only as a sorcery. Can be quite useful, especially if players can't pay life to cast spells and as a board wipe. Timeless Lotus. Yes, we have another Lotus in Dominaria United. For 5 generic mana, legendary artifact, enters the battlefield tapped. Tap, add 1 white, 1 blue, 1 black, 1 red and 1 green. This particular card is ideal for those 5 color commander decks. So that was the last card in this particular day 4 of the spoilers of Dominaria United. Join me together for another full day of spoilers of this legend set, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more and more interesting videos about Magic the Gathering and the collectible world.